Hey there, everybody. My name is Noah Adcock-Howeth, and welcome to Meet the Blowfish, the first episode of 2023. We have Robbie Jordan here with us. It only made sense to start with last year's opening day guy. We got just a few months going until that opening day. And Robbie, out of Francis Marion, is going to be coming back for year two. How you doing, boss?
Doing good. How about you?
I'm doing great. This season can't get here fast enough.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm ready for it.
Absolutely. So I guess the first thing is how the Patriots look. How's Francis Marion going to be? How do you think this spring's going to go for you?
Yeah, I think we're gonna be pretty good. We're playing a tough conference, so it's always hard to tell. But we graduated some older guys, but we got some young talent to fill the holes that we kind of needed, and returning most of our pitching, solid pitching. So yeah, I mean the future looks good for this season, and I'm excited about it. Yeah.
Do you think there's a different feeling for yourself now that you get through a fall and you've been through a whole season? You don't have that freshman nerves trying to get everything figured out. Was it just a little bit of a different feeling this fall?
Yes, completely different. I remember well, last year, you're nervous, you've never done this before, and you're trying to figure it out as you go on and trying to earn some playing time immediately. And it's different this fall because you've had a season under your belt, a chance to establish yourself and earn more playing time, and it's more relaxing, more fun. You're able to, I guess, cut up a little bit more and enjoy the moment more rather than having all the freshman nerves. So it's definitely a big difference, and I enjoyed the fall.
I mean, you certainly were able to knock down those nerves pretty well. You had a heck of a freshman year, and then you really continued it with us. I mean, like we said, you were the opening day guy. That certainly had to be a big time nerves moment as well to hop right into the CPL and get that first start.
Yeah, I mean, the first start of the year, I mean, there's a great crowd at the Lex, and by far the most people I'd ever played in front of. So that continued, like I said, another new experience playing summer ball at that level. So it was really exciting. And then to follow that up, playing and pitching in Savannah the next week, and then probably double, triple the crowd that we had in Lexington. It's just an experience stacked upon experience. And but yeah, I mean, I'm ready to rock and roll with it again.
I mean, you're a Florence kid, born and raised, go to school out there. What brought you from that part of the state out to Lexington instead of maybe staying home and playing for a CPL team that was a lot closer?
Yeah, well, I grew up playing or watching the Flamingos. Well, they used to be the Red Wolves, now they're the Flamingos. So I grew up watching, so I was familiar with the league. I remember watching the Blowfish. I always thought they were kind of the rivals of the Red Wolves back then, and so I was familiar with Lexington. Like you said, I'm from Florence. I go to school in Florence. I've always been here, never really been out. So when the opportunity arose to come to a place like Lexington, which isn't far down the road, hour and a half, I was like, that'd be a good experience to to get out of Florence, make some new connections, meet some new people. It's a cool summer town with a lake right there outside of Columbia. I got a little bit of family that lives in Lexington, so if I need anything, I'm still close to family. So it just seemed kind of like the perfect opportunity to get out, explore a little bit while playing baseball for a great organization, and it just felt right being there.
And we're certainly glad you made the decision on and off the field. It was a big impact for you. What were some of your favorite memories from this past summer?
Hmm. Hmm. I guess some of my favorite memories, playing in Savannah was cool with all their little antics and stuff. That's definitely something you'll remember for a lifetime. The relationships you make. I mean, people you might never see again. I mean, just some that stick out in my head that like Brock and Bo and some of those interesting characters that from all the way out west that if they don't come back, you might not cross paths with again. And it was just really cool meeting people like that, and the bus rides and the locker room talk with just people like that is what probably was my best and most favorite memories.
And you're a good guy to ask about this just because you were on the roster last year. With Casey Brown being named the head coach, what do you expect now playing for him, considering you've seen him in that kind of role for a summer before? What can you tell us about him?
Yeah, from what I expect, just being around him is coming to work every day. Uh, he's a guy that really wants to win. And I admire that. I love that. I'm a guy that wants to win every single time I'm at the baseball field, and I feel like he'll rub that off on us as players, and we'll have a competitive summer. And I think that'll bring some fun and excitement, not only for us as players, for the fans and the whole organization as a whole. So I think it's great that he's going to be the coach next year.
I know he's fired up. I mean, if we're going to host the All Star game, we might as well host a playoff too. Just keep building on the exciting things happening at the Lex, like you said.
For sure.
I think on the field, one thing that was kind of your calling card, you and I have joked about this a lot, is when you had that changeup rocking, there were very few people, didn't matter what school they came from, that were able to hit you. And you and I said before we even got on here, like I know you were saying you think it's gotten even better. How have you improved as a pitcher, and what has kind of gone into that?
Yeah. So last summer, playing big time baseball like that, I realized my changeup. I got a good changeup. It's my swing and miss pitch, but for me to be more successful, to get more swing and misses, more weak contact, more strikeouts, is I got to have more than one swing and miss pitch. And I kind of liked that a little bit last year. When teams would sit on my changeup and they were looking for it, I didn't really have that other go-to pitch to get more outs. So I got back to in the fall, me and my our coaches, we were discussing that. So we've been working on the slider this fall, and I had one in the summer, I had one last year, but it wasn't great. And that's shown great improvements. It's much tighter. It stays in the zone longer. So I guess as a pitcher, I got to throw in a little more. Sometimes I get too complacent trying to stay away. I got to throw in more, and I got to be able to throw that tight slider for strikes along with the changeup. And I think that'll lead to more success. But last summer definitely helped me realize that you got to have more than one swing and miss pitch to be successful going forward and in a league like that.
And I think one of the things that I'm sure you realized is in a league like this, and now that's even a little bit changed up because we're no longer going to have Savannah in there. I mean, it felt like half the times you pitched this past year was against the Bacon. Like it kind of felt like you had to try to adapt in season when these guys, coaches talk in the league, and for you, just seeing the same team, the same guys over and over and over, like you said, they kind of started sitting on that changeup, and it was definitely, I'm sure it was an experience for you.
Yeah, I mean, more than my starts are definitely against Macon, and the other half are against the High Toms. It felt like. So yeah, I mean, it was tough. When teams had seen me multiple times, and I wasn't really confident in my other pitches, other than my changeup to go to, and they were sitting on it, and that made things a little tougher at the end of the year. And that's where it really kind of opened my eyes and the hey, I need to bear down. I need to have another pitch. I really need to work on it. So yeah,
Well, there's no more high times on the schedule, but I think we got 16 games against the Bacon, so you'll certainly get more than your fair share of chances to run it back and debut the new slider against them. Pivoting off the field just a little bit, I know for a fact that you were a big multi-sport guy in high school. A lot of guys are, but you were what, basketball, football, and baseball?
yep, correct.
Aside from baseball, what do you think your best sport was?
Hmm. I guess my best sport after baseball would have been football. Um, I'm not the fastest, most athletic guy, but I could shoot a basketball good. If you stuck me in the corner, I could light it up from over there, but couldn't dribble, wasn't very fast, so I'll leave that aside. Football, I played quarterback, most pitchers do. Um, you know, drop back passer, hand the ball off. I was I was blessed with a lot of talent around me. Um, I wasn't the best player on the team, but I could hold my own on a football field. So I'd say football was my second best sport.
So you think if Francis Marion needed you, put you on as a multi-sport athlete right now, if we put you in the QB1 spot, that'd be a little bit better than just sticking you in the corner and forcing you to chuck up some threes?
Yeah, I'd probably have a little more success than that. Although Francis Mary, we don't have a football team, unfortunately.
Hmm.
So if we were to start one up, they could come. If they came and asked me, I might would give it a shot.
Shoot, between you and Oakley, I mean, just the Francis Marion baseball team got enough to get it started.
Yeah, Oakley. Caleb Oakley. We played against him in high school. He was in our region, and man, he was a stud wide receiver. He was player of the year multiple times. But yeah, some Blowfish, Francis Marion, dual sport athletes. We could get the football team going at Francis Marion.
Absolutely. And then one last thing with you before we let you go. You were the first guy to hop in the booth with me last summer and do some color. Can we expect to get you back on the microphone this year?
Oh yeah, for sure. Anytime you want me up there, I will be up there. I enjoy doing that stuff. Um, I like to view myself as a talkative guy. And I think it helps whenever you have people like that up in the booth, bring a player's perspective um, to the game. And, I think it's interesting for a lot of people. And I know us players, some of us enjoy doing that. So, yeah, I'll for sure do it again.
Yeah, some of y'all more than others. I think we had to pry Aaron White out of the booth a couple times. That kid lived to be up there, but we'll definitely. You've always got a spot with me as long as you want it. So whether anytime you're not front and center on that mound, I'll see you up with me.
Awesome. That sounds good.
All right, partner. We'll let you go. We want to wish you the best of luck for the Patriots this spring, and we can't wait to have you out there.
Thank you. Can't wait for the season. Appreciate you and go Blowfish.
Absolutely. End of May, home game Friday night, opening up against the newest team in the CPO with the Boone Bigfoots. We certainly hope to see y'all out there and for the rest of the summer. Have a good one and stay tuned because we got a lot more people to tune in with.